Joining us now in a Closing Bell exclusive interview, Carnival Corporation CEO Arnold Donald. Arnold, good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, good afternoon, Will, Sarah. Good to be with you guys.
Wanted to start on your outlook expectation for when things will be back to normal, and I guess your sense of frustration, the number of times that target date has been pushed back.
Well, look, it's a global pandemic, and it's affected travel broadly, and of course, we've been affected in cruise significantly because we've been on pause, voluntary pause, for many months now. And so I think, we're all working hard. At least the conversations are about, resuming or resumption of cruise. With the advent of vaccines, with the increased number of rapid testing, low-cost testing techniques, with improvement in treatments and so on, hopefully the world can defeat, this pandemic and we can all get back to normal. And so we're hopeful that by the end of the year, we'll have, our ships across our fleet around the world sailing.
Is there a moment, Arnold, perhaps before that or in order to get to that particular stage where you will be able to cruise, but only if passengers prove that they have had the vaccine? Is that something you're thinking about?
The vaccines at the early stage, as you know, in terms of distribution, et cetera, will obviously be in compliance and follow whatever, the regulations are by the various authorities in the many places we go. But we haven't predetermined any specific criteria around vaccines at this point. We'll let that evolve, and we'll do the right thing in the best interest of public health at the time.
Arnold, I know you've continued to be optimistic about future bookings, talk about pent-up demand, but now that if you don't start sailing really in the U.S. till March, we're looking at, what, a year of no cruises? Do you worry that the longer this goes, the longer people get used to not doing something, the longer the potential psychological impact will be that changes their behavior and they might not come back?
Sarah, it's just the opposite. We do not have a demand problem. We have robust demand. Our bookings, as was mentioned in the opening of the segment here, are at the high end of the range when we go into 2022. There's plenty of pent-up demand. We have lots of regular cruisers who have not been able to cruise for, as you mentioned, going on almost a year now. So we have over a base of almost 8 million previous cruise scores. They're all anxious to cruise again. We're going to start with staggered sailings. We can't bring all the ships back at once. So there's going to be more demand than there will be ships for a period of time. And I think longer term, the future for cruises is bright as ever because people still want to travel. They still want to experience. And once they feel that it's safe and the regulators allow it, they'll be doing that once again.
You were speaking a bit on the earnings call about reducing your fleet. Update us on the scale of that. What size will your fleet be by, let's say, the start of next year relative to where it was before the pandemic?
We're exiting about 19 ships. Well, not about, but we are exiting 19 ships, which is about 13% of our overall capacity. That's an acceleration of ships that were less efficient, and over time we would have exited, but we've accelerated since obviously they're not generating revenue now, and we can avoid in our cash conservation mode that we're in from a burn rate, we can avoid the layup costs by exiting those ships. So about 13% of our capacity. At the same time, we're still taking on new ships, and we're very excited about Carnival Mardi Gras. Boat is the first roller coaster at sea on the Mardi Gras. So we've taken that ship. We took a ship in the UK for our one of our brands, P&O brand, Iona. And we've taken Costa Firenze for our Costa brand in continental Europe. So we still have new ships coming, but we've exited about 19 ships. And overall, we were previously north of 100 ships. And when this is all said and done later this year, we'll be in the 90 range in terms of number of ships globally. The largest cruise.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.